humans, it's just Martine, and for the next 30 days, I'm going to try to dance. I have a complicated relationship with dancing. Dancing has been part of my life for a long time in various ways. I was that regular 4-year-old in ballet class. I hated it. I didn't hate it because it was ballet, I hated it because of the people, but that didn't start me off on like a good note of my dancing journey in life. I would say most of the dancing that I've done has been in musicals. I am the type of person who can sing the choral parts for a musical just fine, and I can move well enough to pass in the ensemble. But then one year I did a crazy thing and I auditioned for a local production of Cats the Musical, and if you're not familiar, that's entirely danced through, which I had never done before, and after that I really wanted to dance more, so I started clog dancing. Clog dancing is not with the wooden shoes, it's kind of like redneck tap dancing in my opinion. It's super fun and I've done it for 8 years. That has been the joyous part of dancing for me. I've always wanted to be better at other types of dance, but I have a chronic fear of failure. I'm not afraid of looking silly as long as it's something that I'm choosing to look silly at. One of my biggest fears is being incredibly earnest in something and trying my best and still looking stupid. Dance challenges me a lot in this way because dance is not an easy thing to do. It's not easy for anybody necessarily, but it's especially hard for, say, me because I don't have the best body control. My vision makes it incredibly hard for me. But on the other hand, dancing is one of the only types of exercise that I think is fun enough to overcome how terrible I feel while exercising. For example, I have clogged in 110-degree weather in the summer because I just love it so much. That's absurd. So I have this deep love of dancing as a form of exercise and movement and self-expression, but I have this deep fear of being earnest and looking silly. So the goal of these next 30 days is not to become a professional dancer incredible at dancing. It actually has 2 main goals. One, I tend to not really try things and give them an honest shot if I'm not automatically good at them. So I want to try something I'm not automatically good at and give it a try, a real good 30-day try. And 2, I want to practice failing with there's like Matt Stefanina, or when I need something easier than that, I've worked on Just Dance dances, things of that nature. So far, during this first week, dancing has been my favorite part of the day. Sometimes I went to the gym multiple times, like 2 times in the day. I went for over an hour each time. My body is adjusting. My knee and ankle are both quite sore. Those were things that used to get sore when I danced in musicals, but I'm trying to take proper care of them, and I've gotten like ankle supports and stuff like that. And so I'm working on that as my body is adjusting to this challenge. Okay, I just got back from dancing for like an hour and a half, and today's challenge, today's mortal enemy, was that the other day I learned part of a dance and I learned the move in reverse instead. So not backwards or mirrored, but like I was going the wrong direction. Okay, how to explain this? So basically in the dance, it goes knees out, in, but I was doing in, out, in, out. These may seem like inconsequential mistakes, but changing them is actually very hard. So I spent a long time doing that. There are like 2 different skill sets that I'm hoping to be working on during this challenge. The first is very deliberate body control, where I take things slow, break things down, and then speed them up over time, which is what I've been doing a lot with my practice, is like learning things slowly, really trying to feel where my body is in space and how it's moving, adjusting, and then moving forward. But the other skill is being able to pick up on things quickly in different movements quickly and being able to follow along on those things. So in the second week of this challenge, I challenged myself to attend some Zumba classes that were free at my rec center alongside my normal dancing. And so far it's been really fun. Not only did I start going because I wanted to challenge myself to follow along better, but Also, I was having a really rough week mentally with the idea of imperfections and looking silly in front of people, getting some weird looks at the gym. And in Zumba, you're all there to look silly together, and nobody is really paying attention to you because they're so busy trying to do their own dancing. They also do types of dances that I would never ever challenge myself to try and do outside of going to Zumba class, because I'm so bad at those types of dances that I simply would give up before even trying. And I think it's healthy to have an environment that encourages you to try regardless. So yay. This 30-day challenge has officially come and gone, and actually it's now late November, and I filmed all of this in the summer. And by that, I mean I filmed the challenge, like the 30 days happened in summer. You can clearly see in the intro that it says November in the calendar behind me, okay? I've had a couple months to reflect on this one really deeply, which is actually good because you saw that in my second week of this challenge, I started doing Zumba, and I actually haven't stopped. I go to Zumba 4 times a week now, every single week. And that's one of the greatest things that I think has come out of this challenge, is not only the joy of finding a place to dance and be silly and have fun here, since I don't have my clogging group here at school, but also genuinely the connections in the community that I found at the Zumba on campus. The same students go day after day after day. A lot of them grad students like me. I've gone with my friends a couple of times. I've gotten to know the instructors, and it's genuinely been one of the best things for my mental health. And I think it especially helped target some of the goals that I set out at the beginning of this video in terms of confidence and stuff like that, because 30 days is not enough to fix that, and I'm still not fixed, believe me. But I think keeping up with Zumba for the past several months has made a drastic difference in the way that I look at myself and the way that I hold myself in the world, and I think about how I move in the world, which might seem like a drastic thing to say for like a little exercise class, but it's true. And I have to give a lot of the credit to some of the happiness that I get from Zumba to the Zumba instructors that I have here, who all have their various catchphrases. One of mine always tells us to detach from reality for an hour. Another calls the Zumba class our happy hour. She says, it's your happy hour. Do what you gotta do. One of my instructors says, whatever you do, don't worry about the choreo. Whatever you do, just keep smiling. And another says, there are no mistakes, just remixes. And all of those things combined with the endorphins of dancing, they're just magical. And I think what I've learned from this is that sometimes you do things and they end up being second nature, even though you were terrified to do them to start with. I'm not talking about dancing in general necessarily, but I'm saying, like, when I first went to Zumba, I was scared to be near the front of the room and to make mistakes. Now I make mistakes in every single Zumba class I go to in the very front row, proudly. And going to Zumba 4 times a week feels normal to me. And it would, if you told me at this time last year that I was doing that, I'd be like, that's not normal. And more than anything, I think this dancing challenge has helped teach me that I am allowed to take up space, to stand tall, to use full extensions, to move my body to its fullest extent and take up as much space as I can joyfully, and just reaffirms the idea that everybody else is too worried about what they're doing to worry about how silly you look. I do think my body awareness has improved some, but again, I think as I kind of anticipated, but not really, I think the biggest outcome and result of this challenge has been a mental shift, not a physical one. And what can I say? I'm happy about that. I'm glad I gave 30 days of dancing a chance, because that 30 days led me to do a silly little thing, which turned into the main thing that I do in my off time, aside from just reading and making videos. It's led me to more friends. It's led me to more happiness. Sometimes little 30-day challenges change everything, and sometimes they don't, and that's okay too. But this one did. Hooray. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up and comment down below, what 30-day challenge should I do next? And subscribe for more reading, writing, and college lifestyle content. And until next time, bye humans, bye!